Scientific literature versus evolution. 3. Scientist quote, "Something essential is missing in the theory of biological evolution. Neo-Darwinism. Dr. Brown and Dr. Hullender." Quote, "To explain the origin of life, survival of the fittest is entirely a feat. As a scientific explanation for the mechanisms of evolution of life, it is trite." In this video, we provide additional quotes and discuss concepts from the following scientific paper. Neo-Darwinism must mutate to survive. Olen Brown, David Hullender, Progress in Biophysics and Molecular Biology, 172, 2022, pages 24 to 38. Evolution believers believe that naturalistic mega-evolution has been proved to be true, and that microevolution plus time gives us mega-evolution. However, there are many scientific papers that show that that is not the case. We have discussed several of these in our previous videos. Every one of our key conclusions in our various videos about the falsification of Neo-Darwinism for mega-evolution is now being presented by scientists and discussed in the scientific literature. Note, we provide quotes from scientists who, as far as we know, do believe in evolution. However, their research confirms that the core tenets of Neo-Darwinism have been falsified for any level above adaptation of a species within a genus or family. This means that random chance and natural selection cannot create the entire biosphere, and neither can any of the mechanisms in the modern synthesis or the extended synthesis. So, naturalistic mega-evolution is false. It is a car with no engine and no wheels. Quote, quoting Darwin, "If it could be demonstrated that any complex organ existed which could not possibly have been formed by numerous, successive, slight modifications, my theory would absolutely break down, but I can find out no such case." Darwin. Quote, "Today, Darwin's missing cases are abundant, including each complex transition to a new body type, metabolic cycle, or metabolic chain. Multi-step processes are routinely required at every evolutionary step." Quote, "Biology remains essentially descriptive." Quote, Henry Heng, 2009, pointed out that modern biology has been heavily influenced by the gene-centric concept, but that this concept is challenged by gene-based research. Quote, "In the light of illusions of the modern synthesis, MS's key concept that gradual accumulation of gene mutations within microevolution leads to macroevolution requires re-examination. Stasis, as the most prominent pattern of the deep history of life, remains a puzzle to the MS, but can be explained by the mechanism of karyotype preservation via sex." Quote, "Modern synthesis, many recent developments, pose deep challenges, even contradictions, to the traditional model." Quote, the author, Dr. Corning, then summarized the case against the modern synthesis and its many amendments. Quote, "We affirm that science advances when theories are challenged by honestly expressed doubt." Quote, "In science, doubting is mostly good. It calls for more evidence." Quote, "Natural selection is inadequate for macroevolution, mega-evolution, which requires multiple incremental changes that, individually, are not functionally more advanced." Dr. Brown and Dr. Hullender. My comment. This is consistent with what we have stated in several of our videos. Random chance and natural selection do work for microevolution, adaptation of species inside a genus or family. However, they do not have the ability to create higher taxa, kingdom, phylum, class, order, from lower species. So, they do not work for mega-evolution, single-cell to human evolution. Quote, "Something essential is missing in the theory of biological evolution, Neo-Darwinism." Quote, "Evolution of a few flowers on a hillside is reasonably explained by mutation and selection. It stretches logic to explain the millions of extremely diverse species seen currently and in the fossil record. It is difficult to conceptualize an insect that is novel or more unbelievable than one that exists." Quote, "To explain the origin of life, survival of the fittest is entirely a feat. As a scientific explanation for the mechanisms of evolution of life, it is trite." Summary. These quotations from the scientific paper, listed above, are consistent with what we have said in several videos. Neo-Darwinism, random chance and natural selection, has been falsified for anything more than microevolution, adaptation of a species within a genus or family. This means that random chance and natural selection cannot create the entire biosphere, and neither can any of the mechanisms in the modern synthesis or the extended synthesis. So, naturalistic mega-evolution is false. It is a car with no engine and no wheels. Thanks to Dr. Von Mancha for bringing this paper to our attention. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.